But you're looking at what everybody else is doing, and in order to compete, I'm not physically ready to compete again. That guy got a kid.
So you're saying, who got that kid?
That dude got like 3 kids, man. Or I'm talking about even the people that I play against. That coach got to go. When they go back in that room with the staff, they got to say, yo, man, Johnny ain't making it, man. Johnny's only like 20 years old.
Transfer portal culture. Transfer portal culture. Transfer portal. Yeah. Over 20,000 NCAA athletes entered the transfer portal in 2024, which is a massive increase from the pre-NIL era. About 40 to 50% of portal athletes do not find a new team at the same level. And
I think a lot of times when you look at the portal, that's one of the, you put down the pros and cons. Obviously, the history of the thing is that, historically, schools were always allowed to be the ones that made the money. Mm-hmm. Student athlete, you were like a product, mm-hmm. You had no say so, blah, blah, blah. And if you wanted to transfer for whatever reason, get along with the coach, blah, 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 family moving, whatever it was, you had to sit out a year. Mm-hmm. When that portal thing came in, it now gave student athletes a lot more leeway and a lot more say so to dictate themselves, mm-hmm. money making wise, NIL, your product, your image, and stuff like that. So with that stat, I enter it, and then I find out that what I thought was going to happen is not happening. I mean, sometimes you think about why am I entering the portal in the first place? Well, a lot of times you want to check your mm-hmm. your marketability, especially for high elite ones. And
I've written about this before. Sometimes they're coaching, like if you don't agree with coaching styles, there's like real.
One of the major reasons. You know what that's all about. Like I don't want to mention names and programs and what have you. It's too tender, mm-hmm. but. We have some people that I'm directly involved with, or indirectly involved with, and I was watching the comments of fans mm-hmm. with the fan base, and they were like mocking this person, saying, "Well, good luck or have fun playing in the NIT now, as opposed to playing in the NCAA."
Mind you, these are probably older professionals or not athletes who are talking about student athletes, as if they are. Yeah. Grown adults. Yeah, that's for another topic. But okay.
I can very easily see both sides. Mm-hmm. I can see the student athlete having the right to not somebody dictate. Mm-hmm. You're in the wrong spot. It's like a business. Nobody's stopping you. You don't have rules changing jobs. Sure. The con of it is like you said, fan base. Mm-hmm. It's hard for that coach to establish team chemistry.
That's true. Yeah.
Every year it changes. Mm-hmm. The fan base changes. I guess we still got to wait to see how that's going to.
Because it is very early. It hasn't been 10 years yet.
Yeah, but both sides can stand up here and give you all kinds of good reasons about why it's good and why it's bad. Mm-hmm. My thing, just being a student athlete, selfishly speaking, mm-hmm. is that I want to have the right to dictate what happens to me. Right. You're making millions of dollars off of me mm-hmm. and my teammates. Mm-hmm. We get nothing. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to have to feel guilty by saying I don't want to do it that way anymore. I want to do it my way.
Or the alternate, which we in other conversations, if you are a small to mid-major athlete, an athlete that goes like a very good or smaller D1 or D2 program, maybe the money isn't there, but your mental health or your confidence, and you're saying, mm-hmm. if I stay here for another 2-3 years, I don't see myself. I need to protect my peace, as people say. I need to. It's like self-preservation, and I need to find a space that.
I'm not getting it here. I thought I was going to get it here, but I'm not getting it. Right. Or I'm here, but you got to remember now. This is a whole other dynamic. I just graduated from high school. I've been in the program now a year. I'm like 20, 21 years old. Mm-hmm. You're bringing in a person, that person's 24, 25 years old. You're a grown man or woman. You're bringing that person in for a reason. Mm-hmm. You may not have wanted to do that, mm-hmm. but you're looking at what everybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. And in order to compete, I'm not physically ready to compete again. That guy got a kid.
So you're saying, who got that kid?
That dude got like 3 kids, man. He's walking down the hallway. He's like
You're
40
saying
years
if
old.
I'm a freshman, I'm right out of school, I get recruited, and then my teammate
Yeah, I'm
has
like,
3-4 kids.
yeah. Or I'm talking about
Yeah.
even the people that I play against. That coach got to go. When they go back in that room with the staff, they got to say, yo, man, Johnny ain't making it, man. Johnny's only like 20 years old. The guys we play against, they're grown men. They're like, the guy played 2 years in Europe.
I think we should go to the next topic. AAU versus individual training.
Yeah.
Top athletes can play 60 to 100 plus AAU games a year, which can lead to burnout and injury. That's one thing. But studies are showing how unstructured play, like pickup ball, improves decision making, creativity, and other things more than structured drills alone. Is there a balance? Are there pros and cons to both? But in this age where you can play AAU all year round, you could travel all year. If you had a young kid today, someone elementary, middle school, what would be your ideal balance? I'm just making this up. What would be your ideal balance of
That's a good topic because there's goodness in all of it, and there's in all of it also. Because and it's funny, as you were reading off the statements, I was reflecting myself being in the martial arts and knowing the discipline behind that, where you got to repeat and repeat and repeat over and over again, even in slow motion, little mechanics over and over again, where to go outside and then just spar with somebody and what have you. I guess the adage is, 1,000 wrong answers doesn't even equal one correct answer. So because I'm playing ball, which I love to go to the park, and the whole camaraderie behind that, and the psychological, and the blah, blah, blah. What park can you go to where when you're playing pickup ball, everything you're doing in that pickup game where you're having fun, trash talking or whatever, having fun, and where you're so fundamentally sound. How many times do you really close out? How many times are you going to the foul line? How many times are you coming off the screen and and the guy setting the illegal screen on you? So I just don't know if you can get that just because you're playing ball. My thing would be that if I'm in the gym, I can work on my individual craft based on my own thing. And then if I had a trainer and or coaches where there's 5 or 6 of us, or the team, we go through our individual training and what have you, and now we play ball. And that coach is saying, okay, from now on, every shot you take got to be a mid-range jump shot that requires somebody setting a screen for you. And we're going to sit back and watch. I know it's not as much fun but you know what? You play 20 minutes of that. Now you go to the park and you're playing against guys where those things are not happening and what have you. You're just playing regular pickup ball. You're going to go, I don't even know if I want to even play with these guys anymore.
Not to down AAU, because AAU was great for us, open doors, all the women on my team. We all were offered D1 scholarships, so I'm not going to down it, but it's probably not likely the amount of times you meet to practice 2 to 3 times a week for AAU, you're going to have that directive, okay, for the next 20 minutes, every shot you take. I don't think that's going to happen in AAU practice.
No.
And AAU is great because you get to travel and compete against so many different types of talent that you wouldn't locally. Yeah. But you got to remember that.
Yeah, you got to remember that the format of AAU is you're a customer, so to speak. You're paying to be on the team, and depending on the level of skill for that particular team, some of these players that get on that team, they're all elite players in their prospective schools. But your skill level compared to some of the other people we play, whether you set that screen properly or not, we still gonna be winning.
I want to talk about NIL readiness funds. It's not really spoken about a lot because we're always focused on the top earners. Less than 10% of athletes earn more than $10,000. Yeah. So that's not a lot of money. So we're talking about, they're signing this, now they're not amateurs anymore. Yeah. Like the real picture is a lot of athletes, and I think I saw a stat last year. I think the average amount of, it was like less than $500. So let's
Yeah.
forget thousands.
Yeah.
I believe we should be using those small and mid-major schools, having fundraising efforts and donors or boosters who want to get back to the school, use those funds to help provide athletes with career readiness, with financial literacy, with, you mentioned earlier, public speaking, how to present yourself. You could help open doors. You're talking careers, another conversation. You can bring in panelists. You could talk about, there are all kinds of things you could do with this, but how do you think that will take off? Do you think there are other ways we can use this money? Because in my mind, if there's money to be had, we should distribute it, but we shouldn't just be giving it to students, especially at this tier, to a few $100.
I see where you're going.
What do you think we could do with that?
The things that I've always heard from people that know, you know, being out of college for a while, is they were always talking about, I guess what you do is, no matter how small or how large money we're talking about, is that you can't do it solo. You always have to have somebody that you trust that teaches you how to invest your money. Because you got to deal with being taxed. You got to deal with long-term investment, short-term investment. How's that playing into it? Even the $10,000. $10,000 is $10,000. But if I find out that I got to spend a quarter of it on taxes, like, you know, but if I knew that out of that $10,000, I should have put it over here. So I think sometimes the rule of thumb of learning is, with a financial advisor or whoever that person is that knows what they're talking about, that they teach you and they instruct you that whatever money you make, whatever you're getting, no matter how small, that is funneled to you directly first. You take care of yourself first, and you do it in such a way where it's building.
Emergency savings.
And then you do what you need to do. Without that, you're scattered.
That could also include athletes who, like when you coach at a school locally here, where athletes could also work part-time. So what are you doing with all that part-time? If you have a scholarship or partial scholarship and you have a little extra, what do you do with that? I'm talking NIL, people might just be thinking sponsorship. You have athletes who are working. They're taking classes, playing and working.
So again, basketball, they were the ones that did the floor. They were the ones that brought out the baskets, broke it down. They were the ones that put the other baskets out when camps was going on. They were the ones that when you walked into the gym, they were at the front desk reading you. They were the ones that took you on tours. I mean, it's
all those campus jobs.
Library, study hall.
We're kind of both saying the same thing. With NIL, transport, all that starts to find its way. It seems like an infant right now, and it starts to develop and mature. There should be funding that is put towards player development, career readiness. And I know NCAAs, they have those stats, we provide financially, we do all these things, but we know admins are, they're overworked. There is not funding, time, or just resources to provide athletes with this. I just hope that schools can kind of see that opportunity instead of trying to put money directly in those athletes' pockets. To your point, having someone, a trusted or an official person that can help them.
That's what I've always heard and been advised myself as administrators, parents, present, past student athletes. What's out there? What it'd be cool for you to comment in and share your thoughts and what have you. Because to me, you have people on the outside that don't know. I go with what's happening right now as we speak. Season just ended, particular sports. Some are just beginning, some have ended, some are getting ready to go, and you have student athletes that are being affected. You have people coming into college now being recruited. What are you being told when you were being recruited and you think you know about the NIL? What are you being? What are they telling you?
What's actually happening? Cool.